Holy shit.
I can't hear you. You can do what, Mr. Nelson? Freeze up in front of a jury?
Miss Page. I must admit, surprised you're here. You are not writing an article about my mother.
I could.
You worked for Ben Urich, didn't you? I believe he mentored you.
Yes, before he was murdered.
The final lesson, one you seem not to have understood.
That a threat?
It's an observation.
Okay. You want secrets? I can tell you a secret. James Wesley. What was it like for you when he disappeared? He died quickly. If you were wondering. Didn't suffer much. You see, Wilson, Matt Murdock isn't the person you should be worried about. I killed Wesley. I shot him 7 times because the clip ran out. He deserved more.
Don't move!
Foggy? I didn't want him to kill me, just come after me.
Oh, good.
Well, I got the idea from you.
Me?
Yeah, all that talk about Tower and catching him off guard, and I thought, yeah, just get Fist to stop thinking and reacting emotionally instead.
Karen's about to get somebody killed. Welcome to the Binge List. I'm your host, Paul Chappell, and it's with a heavy heart I say goodbye to Daredevil today. I'm going to be reviewing episodes 8 through 13. That's right, 8 through 13. And I'm doing this partly because anybody who's anybody in the review game has their review up by now. It's been a week. I have another life, so it's not as easy for me to get out the reviews of some of these other people, but I still had fun doing it. It was a great season. I'll just start with the first 3 episodes. Not as great as the last 4 I reviewed last time I did this. Basically, those 8 through 10 focused on Karen for some crazy reason. They really fleshed their character out. Some of it was good, some of it was really bad. I mean, if you want to summarize these 3 episodes, you just summarize it as Karen gets lots of people killed, because that's what she does. And she had a good reason, I guess. What happens after some of the failings of Daredevil in the recent episodes is that Karen tries to take care of Kingpin in her own way. She figures out that his house arrest can be reversed if he does anything illegal. So she goes up to his penthouse with the kind of plan to anger him into attacking her. She gets in past the FBI agents with the story that she's going to do some kind of crazy story on his mother. And he doesn't like this, so he invites her in to hear her out. And through the course of their meeting, she reveals for the first time, I think with anybody, that she killed Wesley, which it was Kingpin's, first in command in the first season. basically Kingpin's best friend. So she confesses his murder. Kingpin almost loses it. It almost works. So that was very interesting on her part, but it doesn't work. So she goes on the run. And at this point, it gets kind of murky because, well, she doesn't really run. She has a talk with Sister Maggie at Matt's church before running because she wants to talk to Matt, I think, before she leaves. And Sister Maggie, of course, being the good-hearted person she is, invites her sanctuary at this church. So she stays there. And, of course, you know, this can only go bad because at this point, Kingpin really wants her dead. And anyway, before anything happens, we have another episode. Actually, we had the first episode was episode 8, upstairs, downstairs. Then we had another episode between the final confrontation with Karen called Revelations. And just so happens that a certain person reveals herself to be the mother of Daredevil. And I won't say who. I'll let you, if you haven't watched this already, like I said in the last episode, what are you waiting for? But it turns out that Matt finds out who his mother is, shockingly enough. And that causes him some anger because he finds out Father Lantham has known for some time that this person is his mother and didn't tell him, and left him thinking that he had been abandoned in the world. But he works out his issues. And by episode 10, which is called Karen, Matt comes up with a plan to kill, yes, that's right, kill Wilson Fisk. So he's decided that Wilson Fisk is so dangerous that he must violate his one rule against killing. Which is strange because if you think about it, there's certain people that need to die. I mean, I can think of a couple. Osama bin Laden being one obvious people. People like that need to die. I mean, there are people in this world who are too dangerous to be left alive. But because of his Catholic guilt, up to this point in his journey as a superhero, Daredevil has not killed. So he goes he infiltrates Kingpin's hideout, figures out where to. I won't say what he figures out, but he infiltrates Kingpin's hideout, and Kingpin is not there, and he finds out that Agent Poindexter, who is Bullseye, has been ordered to kill Karen, and Karen has been located at this church. Anyway, before all of this occurs in episode 10, we go back in history to Karen's backstory, where you find out again how kind of a despicable person she was before coming to New York. I won't say despicable, but misguided. Because you find out that she was both a drug dealer and a drug user, and she had a drug dealing boyfriend in the middle of Vermont. And I don't know what little town she lived in, but my God, it looked like a coal mining town in West Virginia or something. It was just... I don't know much about Vermont, obviously. I've never been to Vermont, but I don't know if it looks like West Virginia, but it looks like the end of the world, according to this show. But anyway, we find out that her family owns a small diner. Her mother's dead, and her father's trying to keep this diner going, and she's been kind of helping out. But she's living on the side with this drug dealer boyfriend. She'd been accepted to Georgetown Law School, but she decided to take a gap year. And this caused a lot of concern with her brother, which causes him to later in the episode burn her drug dealing boyfriend's trailer. And of course, the boyfriend attacks him, her brother, and attacks Karen. And Karen shoots him and escapes with her brother. But because she's high and drunk, she crashes the car and gets her brother killed. So this is Karen's backstory. And it explains a lot of her ambivalence to develop any stable relationship. Yada, yada, yada. With Matt, with Punisher, with just about everybody she comes in contact with on this show. Because she feels like she's not worthy of love. Now, that's fine and dandy and great and whatnot. But the scene immediately following this is her at the church where Bullseye breaks in and proceeds to kill everybody, well, not everybody, but a good majority of the people attending Mass, including somebody important in Matthew's life. And I won't tell you who that is, but obviously it's either Father Lantham, Sister Maggie, or someone else. Go see the show, like I said. So, like I said, I felt like there's a pretty good fight scene and everything, and there's some interesting things that happen in these 3 episodes, but I just felt like you could have just dispensed with the direction in some of these episodes and just subtitled them all Karen kills people, because she gets a lot of people killed by not really running. And that's a problem. And I've already expressed my reservations about this character taking a man's job after getting him killed. And I'm talking about Ben, I think his name was Ben Urich in the first season. And in fact, not only does she get his job, she gets a corner office. And while all the other people that have been there at the newspaper longer are in Cuba, she gets this guy's corner office. Why? I don't know. They never explain it. I guess because she's friends with Ben. But like I said in the previous episode, the fact that she is a reporter at all is really kind of silly and the most unconvincing part of the show. And the fact that they felt like double downing on the character of Karen, I just found kind of disturbing. I felt like maybe they should have followed Foggy a little bit more. But on the other hand, Foggy does some things. He tries to bring down. In the last 3 episodes, Foggy convinces Matt Murdock, Daredevil, to try to bring down Kingpin using the law, and they kind of ally themselves with FBI agent Nadeem, who's found out after he is framed by Fisk, he finds out that Fisk pretty much runs the FBI and has a lot of people under his control. And if you've been watching this show, you probably saw a certain agent's, you probably knew that a certain agent was compromised. I certainly saw it coming when this agent revealed herself, I'll say. He probably giving too much away there. But so they convince Agent Nadeem to come in and testify. And of course, as with every other plan this season, Fisk is way ahead of them.
89 West 144th Street. Sarah Torres, 612 East 78th Street.
What the hell? That's my address.
Holy shit.
Tom McGinnis, 707 Level Ave. I'm sorry. They made me memorize them.
So Daredevil decides he's going to handle this his way. And his way is kind of turning Agent Poindexter. I don't want to tell you how to do that, but it's pretty convincing the way he convinces Benjamin Poindexter to turn on Fisk. And the reason he needs Poindexter to turn on Fisk is because he's in charge of Kingpin's security detail. And by this point in the story, by episode, I think it was episode 11 called Reunion. It's called Reunion because Fisk gets his convictions overturned in appellate court, and Vanessa comes back to the United States. Vanessa is Kingpin's girlfriend, the only one I think he's ever had. And this begs the question, was Kingpin a virgin before he met Vanessa? I mean, he's like in his 50s or something. So, something to think about. I think he is a virgin. He may be even a virgin after Vanessa because Vanessa returns, and Vanessa's played by Yvette Zurer, I think how you pronounce her name. She's an Israeli actress. You might know her better as the mother of Superman in the Man of Steel. And she was also in Munich as Eric Bana's wife. But she's a very popular Israeli actress. But she hasn't done too many roles in Hollywood. This is probably her most prominent one. One she'll be known for, at least for the immediate future. Anyway, getting back to the plot, Vanessa returns. Kingpin is released, and he has this security detail that's impenetrable by this point, and Daredevil feels like he has to turn Benjamin Poindexter because he is in charge of Fisk's security detail. And Daredevil being Daredevil, he figures out some things that Kingpin has done to Dex and is able to successfully turn him against. And he's able to infiltrate Kingpin on the day of his wedding to Vanessa. And just to be clear, Vanessa is just as evil as Kingpin. She, in fact, orders some executions herself, which was surprising. Anyway, make a long story short, I won't. Like I said, I don't want to be have a bunch of spoilers in this review. I want you to go ahead and watch these episodes because they're great. And there's a final battle with Fisk, Bullseye, and Daredevil all in the same room. And it got kind of, I would say, a little bit implausible at a certain point. The fact that Daredevil was able to coordinate, he's actually doesn't want, because at this point Bullseye wants to kill Fisk and Vanessa, but of course, Daredevil doesn't want that to happen. So he's trying to beat up Fisk. At the same time, he's trying to keep Bullseye from killing Vanessa and Fisk, which is weird. So it almost didn't work, that final battle. But I could see why the writers wanted to go this way, because on one hand, you don't want to kill Kingpin. You can't kill Kingpin. He's too great a villain. You want to keep him in reserve for a future season. But at the same time, you have to have a satisfying conclusion because Kingpin is responsible for a lot of deaths this season. But they made it work, and for the most part, I've already said I've gotten past actually reviewing this season. I mean, obviously, they're not going to satisfy everybody. There are some things I did not like I mentioned before. Karen was probably the big sore spot this season. But every other element of the show was just dead on, entertaining, and well written. And like I said, I would give this solid recommend if you haven't already started watching it. Binge watch this thing because you don't see good television like this much anymore. And I'm sad to say, but I feel like at some point Netflix will cancel Daredevil and Jessica Jones because of Disney's new streaming service. But I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. But I got a feeling like whatever contract Netflix had with Marvel is going to become so onerous that they have to release the series. And, you know, Netflix can carry on without it. They've got plenty other shows that they're working on. But I just my feeling like that's definitely where we're headed. But we got good 3 seasons out of Daredevil. And the cast was just almost perfectly cast. I would even say Karen was well casted. The actress that plays Karen is not a bad actress. She's actually a very good actress. It's just that the material she's been given to work with is just kind of infuriating, I would say at the very least. That Karen Page just kind of walks into all this good stuff. But then I guess they kind of balanced it with the reveal as well, her background. So they did redeem her character to a certain extent. But like I said, I loved it. You should love it. Go watch it now if you haven't already watched it. And that'll be all for Daredevil Season 3. And I hope you enjoyed my review. Try to give you whatever I could in the most beautiful package I could make. But there you have it. Daredevil Season 3. Solid thumbs up from me. And that's all I have for today. And I will see you when I see you.